Hey folks, it's Maxie here and welcome to another TEW2020 video. You join us today for our July pay-per-view with Impact Wrestling, which is Impact Wrestling Slammiversary 17, I believe that is. Hope I've got my Roman numerals right there. So I think we'll get 14 segments on the show, mostly matches as you can imagine. But this will give us a good idea of how we're doing financially, if we can start taking more gambles with the company. If we need to rein in a little, if we can maybe change our taping structure. So there's a lot of things that we need to take into consideration. But hopefully we can put on a good show. We continue to hopefully tell decent stories as we firmly get on the road to Bound for Glory. We're live auditioning in Mexico, we're on Fight TV, we're on Impact Plus, we're on Premier Sports. And we're expecting a crowd of around 2,500. So without further ado, let's do it. So at the West Campus field, just shy of the 2,500, 2,479, so 21 fans away from a sellout. No boosts, because quite frankly we can't afford that. But basically, we have our usual hype package that I put up before any pay-per-view. We have the combatants in the main event talking about their chances, how Matt Cardona has risen to the top, and how everyone's tried to knock him away from his perch, but he is determined to remain Impact World Champion. He's going to climb, he's going to retrieve that belt, he's going to get it from there, and he's going to bring it down to become champion. In fact, I'm sure actually King of the Mountain was put the belt on the ladder, at the top of the ladder, and hang it. Yeah, so he'll hang the ladder up. It was such a bizarre concept, King of the Mountain, but I did enjoy it. Who will end up in the penalty box? Could have been Moose. He says he'll not be entering that box at any point. He'll be the man that'll put each and every one of his combatants there. EC3 says it's his destiny, it's his narrative to become champion again. And Eric Young and Sami Callihan have pretty similar promos in the sense of there's no disqualification, they're willing to put their body through anything and bring as much violence to this match as they can. And Eric Young says he hopes to use his experiences of, being around the many King of the Mountain matches. I'm not too sure off the top of my head if he's participated in many, but he wants to use his experience to become champion yet again. This brings us to 61 with both Moose and Eric Young struggling when going off a script. So we dive straight into combat then, and we have a fantastic opener which also gives us a 61. And this was a match that had great wrestling and good heat as Chad Betts defeats Ethan Page in 12-11 by submission. We'll just say put a wee ankle lock in there as a wee nod to Kurt Angle. Want to keep the unbeaten streak alive for Chad Bates, and it leads to a little bit of doubt in the mind of All Ego Ethan Page. In fact, he ends up in the backstage area with this 58 segment. It's him and Josh Alexander, and he just basically says, right, maybe you were right, maybe it's not quite right for, and not quite time for the North to split. We need to use this as a momentum, as basically an initiative for the North to become tag team champions again. We've got to keep pushing in that direction. So a 58 there as we have the North coming back together. Moving into tag team action in the Knockouts division, decent matchup, Rosemary and Su Yung defeat Diona Purrazzo and Kimberly in 13:50 when Rosemary pinned Kimberly with the Olympic Slam, meaning new champions again in the form of Rosemary and Su Yung. So new Knockouts tag champs, a 45 rated matchup. The story here we're going for is painting Kimberly as the weak link, who is just, well both her and Diona are basically batshit scared of Rosemary and Su Yung. But 45 is pretty good considering Su Yung was off her game. Next up, Chris Hero cuts a promo on Eddie Edwards, 51 rated segment. Says he's known Eddie Edwards a long time, but he's seen no progression from Eddie Edwards, he's seen no development from Eddie Edwards, and he believes being in the ring with Chris Hero can take Eddie Edwards to the next level, which is just below Chris Hero's level. So he's looking for a good competitive matchup, but expects to win easily. So in true form, with a good matchup that saw Eddie Edwards, of course, defeat Chris Hero in 13:40 with the forward lung blower. A 58 in total here, Eddie Edwards off his game. Both guys actually bring in some pretty good performances, but we've got to stick with the original guy that's been here in Impact Wrestling for a long time, and that is Eddie Edwards. Moving along, we had an exceptional matchup, I would say, for the Tag Team Championships. And about that had great wrestling and good heat. F.T.R. defeat Heath and Rhino in 12-17 when Cash Wheeler pinned Heath with the Shatter Machine, the Big Rig. F.T.R. make the third defence of the Impact World Tag Team titles. A 62 is fantastic. Harwood and Wheeler just fit this product perfectly and are by far the best. They needed an extra kind of win just to kind of give them a wee filler bout, and I feel Heath and Rhino have really thrived in that role. They've done well and they've brought a great match out of both Wheeler and Harwood, but the champs retain as they prepare for future challengers down the line, of which we will find out just now. So basically my plan here was a 20-man battle royal, and the winners would be, obviously one man can win it, but whoever wins it, their tag team partner, will also become #1 contenders for the tag titles. Ended up adding in extra tag teams that I never initially announced, so we didn't have any IOP, which is fine. Inflictors of Pain can get protected but not being in the match. So we had, to go through the teams, we had Adam Fornstow, and we had Lust of the Legend from Reynolds Scum. We had Reynolds and Silver from the Dark Order, Shelley and Sabin, Motorcycle Machine Guns, Enzo and Big Kaz. Our surprise tag team was the Varsity Blondes and Brian Pillman Jr. and Griff Garrison. We had the Deaners, we had Gallows and Anderson as well, and from Violent and Design we had Joe Doring and Ken Shamrock, and finally Rich Swann and Willie Mack. But it was a decent matchup that saw Big Kaz pick up the win in 1837. Other members of the Final Four were Rich Swann, Doc Gallows and Ken Shamrock, with Rich Swann being the final elimination, and Gallows getting the most eliminations over the course of the match. So we have a 53, which are pretty good because it's a mixture of talent, a mixture of overness. And in this matchup we saw 4 guys off their game, unfortunately both of them being the debutantes on open contracts for both ourselves and AEW, and I believe Pillman's also got one with MLW in this. Of course, Garrison and Pillman, 2 of those guys that, yeah, off their game, but also debuting adequate gimmicks. We get the celebration from Enzo and Big Kaz, which gives us a 51. Neat stuff there. They'll be facing F.T.R. at one point down the line. Moving along with the X Division Championship match, which had great wrestling and good heat, as Lio Rush defeated Pentagon Jr. in 14:02 with a rush hour, giving Lio Rush the 6th defence of the Impact X Division Championship. A stellar matchup between these two with the 58. This was just a regular matchup, but again, just want to give more prestige to our X Division Championship and get all the overness we can onto our wrestler rather than someone we've taken from All Elite Wrestling. Because what I was thinking is, if he's with us and AEW could push Petna, he gets overness, and we take the overness back and put it onto our wrestler when they beat them. That's the thinking behind it. Hopefully it works. Next up, Kurt Angle comes out and he confirms the newest signee to Impact Wrestling on a handshake deal. Welcome from Japan, we've got Bushi, which was only a 49, so he just comes out and says looking forward to bringing another body into the X Division that can add to its international flavour. I was hoping Kurt would maybe give us a better promo here, so we may be struggling with this show, just purely without that big promo. And we have the Impact Knockouts title match next, which was decent, and it saw Thunder Rosa defeat Taya Valkyrie in 14:16 with La Rosa, a third defence of the title for Thunder Rosa. Again, pretty similar to matches we've had beforehand, just again extending title reigns, and in this instance, Thunder Rosa continues her run as champion. So a 49 there, good showing from Taya, but I want to stick with Thunder Rosa as champion for a wee bit longer. And this leads us into our Steal the Show match of the night, and it was about with great wrestling and good heat as Ace Austin defeats Fenix in 13:53 with the House of Cards. A 61, a 59 from Fenix, a 62 from Ace. Fenix off his game. If you've watched my AEW stuff, you know that Fenix is the absolute man in this game, and probably in real life, but we're pushing through some homegrown Impact Wrestling talent, and that's why Ace Austin picks up the win. We get a promo from Ace, and that is a promo that will be our promo of the night. So in this promo he says he's fed up, being considered an X Division wrestler. He's always fighting, he's been fighting good matches which show he's way above the X Division. He wants to chase after the Impact World Championship, and he's saying tonight he doesn't care how he does it, he's going to challenge for that championship down the line. And to be honest, with promos like 70, I think he's going to carry our company going forward. So a good promo there from Ace Austin, which will lead us to our main event of the evening, which gave us a 60, and a superb matchup. Mark Cardona defeats Sami Callihan, EC3, Moose and Eric Young, in a King of the Mountain match in 2017 when Matt Cardona retrieved the item. This means that Matt Cardona defends the championship for the 7th time, remains champion, and the 60-rated matchup shows you actually quite how level our wrestlers were, the highest being EC3 on a 61, the lowest being Moose on a 56. Let's look at the negatives. Just Mark Cardona's inconsistency and the low experience of the announce team. Overall, a 57. That's good then. So highest match, main event match plus your highest promo, 70 plus 60, plus the massive drop because of our production values. We can check that when we leave this show because we'll have an idea of how we're doing financially. But we're obviously broadcasting a lot more regions, which means our popularity increases more globally than it would with an episode on Access TV. But delighted with that. Pretty consistent show compared to what we've been doing. Maybe a few higher ratings. In fact, the lowest of the night was probably, was it the Kurt Angle introducing Bushi, that other women's tag? I think that's a really, really strong. Even like Thunder Rosa and Taya Valkyrie is up there. So I'll take that. And we'll jump back into the main screen, of course, broadcast on a Friday night, purely to make sure that we do not lose out on people that may work for AEW on a Saturday night for a particular pay-per-view. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long. It just shows it is a good mod, there's good depth to it, and I can have honestly about 16, 17, even 20 pieces of news. There you go. Was that 30? That's going to be in the 50s maybe. 55 bits of news items from the top then. So with SmackDown on, El Caristico is going to start on the El Caristico even. We, for Impact there. Excellent, show went down really well. AEW Dark. Masada's been released from GCW. Quite a few people from GCW actually. So I don't know what's going on there, they've maybe dropped a little bit. You can see many people there. Benjamin Carter looks set to sign a new deal with WWE, and Sean Spears with a brand new contract with WWE, with AEW. You'll notice, obviously, you missed like 3 weeks from the last taping of this show. As majority is just AEW extending contracts, WWE as well. A major name's been released from WWE. I'm going to try and get him an open contract because I do feel it fits with what Impact Wrestling do, and we'll see how that goes down the line. We can confirm a 75% increase for EC3 and Maki Ito. That's absolutely fine. And if we move back here, we'll see that with 72,000 viewers, a buy rate of 0.03. We really need to get better deals, but until the company grows to the next level, we ain't going to get that, I'm afraid. So we are stuck, but the good thing is 45 across the board, still 48 in the southeast, and the good thing is we're starting to work on these other areas pretty early. Meanwhile, in comparison to AEW, it took me until like I had all these America, Canada sorted before even these places started growing. So that may be better in the long term scheme of things, but for now, as I say, the focus is firmly the southeast, and as I say, we are stuck on these broadcasting deals for a while. 1 year and 4 months still on Access TV before we can go elsewhere. And we don't really have the finance. We are 1 million, but as I say, we still have the end of the month. We'll still have to pay tax and possibly some miscellaneous costs and some worker costs as well. Just looking there, broadcast revenue was up, ticket sales were up, pay-per-view lower than it's been, but still decent level. It's good, but it's still a slow grind, and hopefully we can tell good stories here, which reflect it there. So cheers for watching. Hopefully we probably won't have the news signing in time for the tapings, but they should be making their debut at our next event, which will be Lockdown, a night of cage matches. Interesting. I'll double check that has got the cage match stipulation actually before we go into it. Where are we? In fact, I don't know if I'll definitely do it all inside the cage. I'll maybe just do like the main event as in a cage, but that still should be really good. But cheers for watching anyway. Most importantly, thank you very much. Enjoy the rest of your evening. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.